Another day, another supermicrocomputer update. So yesterday, before the market closed, I released a video talking about, well, why SMCI stock was up during the day, the rumors, the anticipation of, well, them coming up with a plan to avoid delisting. Now, what has happened a couple of minutes after that video was posted? Well, exactly that. They said that they submitted a plan to the Nasdaq to delay the listing, a plan to release the 10K and the 10Q, plus they have a new auditor. No, not one of the big four, BDO. Now, while the stock's reaction was extremely positive, at one point it was up 40% after hours. Right now, before the market opens, the stock is now up 22%, which is, not bad, right? You were up 16% on Monday, and now pre-market you're up another 22%. Apologies for the bird noises. Apparently I live in the Amazon jungle, but okay. Now, if this stays like this, and we do open 20-30% up, remember there is quite a high short interest here, around 17.2%. So maybe this will squeeze. Now, why am I making this video again? Well, it's because I've seen quite a lot of misinformation, or maybe not the whole truth, with regards to BDO and what is happening with SMCI right now, because they're not out of the woods just yet. As I've explained on Friday, we've seen this play out already in 2018, where they got a hearing, where the delisting was delayed, where they said, okay, we have a plan, we know we're going to be releasing our filings. What happened in the end? Well, 6 months in, they said, actually, we're not going to file them on time, sorry, and then they got delisted. Is the same going to happen right now? I don't know, but I'll show you again everything that you need to know. So if you enjoy this type of videos, leave it a thumbs up, subscribe if you have not, we really appreciate that. If you want to support me even further, do check out the link down in the description and in the pinned comment to the top 10 best stocks to buy now, or go to fool.com/couchinvestor. Thank you very much. And do check out all the other links out there. There are some great promos going on. So let's start with SMCI's announcement. So they announced the appointment of BDO USA, an independent auditor, and filing of compliance plan with Nasdaq. So BDO is a member firm of BDO International, one of the world's top 5 accounting firms network with over 115,000 professionals across its global network and a recognized leader in audit and assurance. The CEO of Supermicro said, "We are pleased to welcome BDO as Supermicro's independent auditor. BDO is a highly respected accounting firm with global capabilities. This is an important step to bring our financial statement current and effort we are pursuing with both diligence and urgency." Yeah, I don't buy that, but okay. Additionally, the company announced that it has submitted a compliance plan to the Nasdaq stock market to support its request for an extension of time to regain compliance with the Nasdaq continued listing requirements. If that plan is accepted by the Nasdaq, then the next deadline will probably be around February. In its compliance plan to Nasdaq, the company indicated that it believes that it will be able to complete its annual report on Form 10K for the year ending June 30, 2024, and its quarterly report on 10Q for the fiscal quarter ending September 30, 2024, and become current with its periodic reports within the discretionary period available to the Nasdaq staff to grant. Pursuant to Nasdaq rules, Supermicro Securities will remain listed pending Nasdaq's review of the compliance plan. And by the way, even if the plan is rejected, they can still appeal it. So yeah, this thing can continue for quite a long time. It's not over yet. Now, with regards to BDO specifically, this was an article from this summer from the Financial Times. BDO sinks to bottom of US Audit Quality League table. The Public Company Accounting Oversight Board said that deficiency rates remain unacceptable across the largest accounting firms, not just BDO, all the others as well. But among the big four, the deficiency rate, which leaped higher after the pandemic, stabilized in 2023. At BDO, 86% of audits inspected by the Public Company Accounting Oversight Board were found to be deficient, meaning that the firm had failed to collect enough evidence to support at least part of its audit conclusion. At Grant Thornton, a little over half of audits inspected contained flaws. And I mean, this is truly mind-blowing, right? If you look at the top four, PwC is the best one here, then Deloitte, then KPMG, and then, So the worst of the top four was SMCI's old auditor, EY. And now the worst of the top six here is who? Well, the new SMCI auditor, BDO. I mean, it's worse by a mile, right? By a mile, not just in 2023, but in 2022 and in 2021 as well. Of course, as you can see here, the pandemic period, this was really a time where things were happening all over the place. So 2022 is definitely a year where you've seen some outliers here, but 2023 was a little bit better for some of these companies, not all of them. And yeah, I mean, when I saw this, I'm like, okay, small win because of the announcement, but people already crying out victory really need to rethink this one again. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, this is game over, they have no chance of actually staying on the NASDAQ in the long run. No, this is just me providing you extra information so you see the bigger picture. Plus, BDO can come in, find some things that weren't 100% and say, oh, we found these things, but since we're new here, it's probably EY's fault, not ours, right? They're the new auditor. Everything they find has already happened before. But then again, someone has to be held accountable, right? Someone inside of SMCI for sure, because we know this is not the first time that this is happening. And for an auditor like EY to say, okay, we think the issues here are so big that we have to leave this one. I mean, to reach that point, it has to be real bad. Yes, okay, I've also read that EY is cutting back on a lot of projects and cutting jobs here and there, so maybe that's part of it as well. But we're not talking here about a small company, right? SMCI, S&P 500, $13 billion in market cap. It's not a small player. And by the way, with regards to the S&P 500 thing, BDO only has one other company in the S&P 500, just one. So now two, SMCI and that other one. So yeah, that again raises some questions as to what the quality of these audits will be. And then one thing that I actually forgot it as well in the past videos, it's this, right? The US Justice Department probes Supermicrocomputer. This was back here in September. The US Department of Justice is investigating Supermicrocomputer, the Wall Street Journal reported back in September, nearly a month after short seller Hindenburg Research alleged accounting manipulation. The Wall Street Journal report, which cited people familiar with the matter, said the probe was at an early stage and that a prosecutor at the US Attorney's Office recently contacted people who may be holding relevant information. So we'll see what happens with that. I mean, we're all focused on the delisting and stuff like that, but this is still happening. And so while right now, as I've said yesterday, if we do get a positive reaction, we might get a squeeze. And as you can see, there is quite a big gap here between $40 to $50, close to $50 or so. Of course, there's still a long way to go there, but these things can squeeze quite aggressively if it does have momentum and if short sellers are covering in the meantime. And as I've explained on Friday, going back to the deja vu from 2018, we've seen positive stocks reaction throughout this process, right? A hearing, an extension, etc., etc. So we've seen the stock react positively, but then eventually a delisting happened in 2018. So that was the end of the story back then. So from today up until maybe February, maybe March, maybe May of next year, because this thing can drag on for quite a long time. Like I said, if the NASDAQ does accept the plan, then the deadline will be February. So up until February, the stock can go higher, right? Like we've seen back in 2018, that can happen. And then after February, there are two scenarios. One, okay, they file it, everything is fine. Maybe they changed, maybe they'll get fined, and we're done. Or on the flip side, they'll suddenly say, oh, actually, we need another extension. We cannot file this on time. That's a bad scenario, right? Plus, you then have the US Department of Justice that maybe they will be finding something in the meantime as well. So it's not over yet. Yes, it's some positive news, right? The worst case scenario did not happen yesterday, and that's an official delisting. So now we're just pushing the can down the road. I think that's what we say, right? So yeah, overall, that's all you need to know right now. For those that are trading it, congrats on your gains, especially some of you that have been buying on Friday under 18, under $20 or so. You're up quite significantly. So congrats on that trade. Congrats on those that have played the options games as well. I will just say, don't be that greedy. But then again, you do whatever is best for you. So overall, that's all I've got for you right now. Like, subscribe to all of that, and I'll see you all in the next one. Bye-bye.